Hey, this is Linz, and you are watching Support the Scene.
Hey guys, this is Jade from Support the Scene. I'm here with another fantastic artist. Now, for those who don't know you, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, my name is Winter. I am the artist, like singer, songwriter, producer, all that behind, I guess the musical project known as Inkwell. Yeah, that's me. My pronouns are they, them, she sometimes, but mostly they, them.
With Inkwell,
yeah.
like when I think of it, there's so many different things that come to mind. What particularly drew you to the project name?
Well, that was actually chosen, I'd say, that was a little bit after I started playing music, actually. I went through a few different names. Originally, the full title was Out of the Inkwell, which, if anyone's watching this and they know a little bit about the animation industry, might know what I'm talking about. It was an old 1920s animation, back way like early Disney era kind of stuff. And there was this really cool animation that was about an artist, which was filmed like live action, and he was drawing these cartoon things on like a canvas on an easel or whatever, and they use this animation technique to have the art literally come off the page and start interacting with the real life, which was wild for that time. That was incredible stuff. And I was always just captivated by this idea of my own art and my music and stuff having its own, like, a life of its own. And there were a few other options, but that was definitely the one that I went with because I just thought it was so cool. And Inkwell is just, it rolls off the tongue. It's nice and simple. You don't often have to spell it out for people if you're just talking about it. It works for a lot of different things.
Yeah, and you know, and that's it's one of the things when I first heard the name, like that's what I really thought of, like, is creativeness, is just kind of like you know, the birth of of art. And
Yeah, absolutely.
so yeah, how did you all get started with this?
Well, so it's actually kind of a funny story. So, I've been playing instruments for a long time. I've been playing guitar for nigh on 11 years now, because I started when I was about 9. I'm 20 now. But as far as singing and actually performing and everything goes, I've been doing that for about 4 years. Started late 2019, around the beginning of COVID. And it was just before that started happening. I believe it was a Halloween party, actually, at my neighbor's house across the road from my place, and we were doing karaoke. And my friend pulls on "I Want It That Way" by the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
And I had sang a couple times before, a little bit of stuff in school, but not much. And I performed that. And I finish up, and I think it's all right. And some of my friends come over to me. They're like, "That was really kind of good. Like, that was not bad." And I'm like, "Well, shit, all right. Like, I guess I'm okay." And I had just prior to that day gotten this game for my computer. It's called VR Chat. I'm not sure. Are you familiar with that? With what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. For anyone not familiar, VR Chat is basically a online video game. You go in. It's basically just like a room simulator. You just walk around. You talk to people. It's very simple. But I had my old Blue Yeti microphone, as everyone kind of does, and I came home from the party that night and hopped on VR Chat with my guitar and my microphone and started playing. And basically right after that, COVID hit, and I was like, well, I can't go out and do this. I'll just keep doing this. And I kept doing it for about 3 to 4 years. I still do it now, actually.
I mean, it's one of those things that's innovative, that's nice, that really allows you to kind of grow and to put stuff out there and get it. One of the projects that I work on was very similar. Wrote a bunch of songs, put it up on YouTube, and then it did way better than I expected. And I was like, I really want to keep doing this. So that kind of led to one thing to the other. But like being able to put your music out in front of people, I think is important for artists. And everyone gets so wrapped up in finishing a record, getting it done perfect, and then letting people hear it, rather than just like going out and what essentially is busking, going out, doing the TikTok lives, doing the Instagram lives, doing this stuff where you're exposing yourself to people, friends, family, people that you don't know. I remember going on TikTok live and just having tons of haters come on, and you're just like,
Yeah, it happens, especially like everywhere online. You're just gonna have people running up and telling you, "Oh, you're bad, stop playing music." I'm like, "Okay, buddy." Like, "Oh no, a person on the internet told me I suck. I guess I gotta stop now."
That's like, "Oh no, Anonymous 654 said I'm terrible."
Oh no.
Yeah,
my life is ruined. My career will never recover.
So with that, and you've started and you're doing a bunch of things with it. Where can people find it?
Well, yeah. So a little ways after, obviously, I started doing that. I started actually writing music, my own, and started off on SoundCloud. And now I'm on. I actually go through a distributor. It's a DistroKid. It's pretty common. And I have my stuff on basically all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. I don't know all of the different platforms, but basically everywhere that I can.
Yeah.
So yeah, almost most of my stuff that I would consider good, that I'm relatively proud of, is on Spotify. You can find me Inkwell, capital I, capital W, all one word. And some of my stuff is on SoundCloud, which includes a couple demo tracks. I have a demo album out there. It's all like stuff that's like a minute, maybe a minute and a half long, all like digital tracks. And a few other singles there that I haven't ever released on Spotify. But yeah, that's basically where you can find it.
Now, when you're creating, what was your process for kind of finding your sound? Because as you said, it came from more, just kind of karaoke and just kind of shifting into something. How did you were you able to craft what you've become now?
Yeah, so it was I've always been heavily inspired by artists around me. I have a few friends that are musicians, but mostly growing up I listened to a lot of, at least in high school and now in college, I listened to a lot of bands like 21 Pilots, Hozier, there's a folk band called Camp, an Icelandic rock band, I think they're Icelandic, called Kaleo. A bunch of different artists, and they've all really inspired me, and I take bits and pieces from each one and try to mix it together and with my own things. And as far as my own like lyrics and things go, I tend to like to write about not emo but more emotional topics and things like that. I don't tend to just like write songs about whatever stuff, which hats off to people who do. I do not bashing that at all. But yeah, my sound is kind of, I honestly, being entirely like transparent, I'm not entirely sure I've found my sound yet. I'm still kind of, I'm 4 years in and only about maybe 1 to 2 years into actually properly producing my things. I'm still learning new stuff every day. I'm still coming up with new ideas. I started recently putting piano into a lot of the things that I do because I'm learning that. And yeah, it's still developing all the time, but I'd say it's mostly derived from the instruments I already know: guitar, ukulele, banjo, and mixed in with the artists that I listen to.
That's fantastic. Now, since we've been birthed from the COVID area-ish, basically, have you played live? Have you gone and hit the road?
Yeah, I have a little bit. It is obviously it's relatively it's been hard for me to find gigs and things because I'm not as well connected in the music industry. I didn't really have that option, and as a broke college kid who all that, I don't really have the money to go to many shows all the time. But I have gotten to, especially when I lived back in Abbotsford before I moved to where I am now in Surrey, and a little while ago in East Van. I used to perform at this little nice coffee shop called Sip Chai. Shout outs to them if any of them see this. And Yeah, I started performing there because I saw they had an open mic, and the owner was just a wonderful dude, absolutely great guy. His name was Jazz, and he really gave me a shot. I came there every Friday, performed for performed up to sometimes an hour-long set list, because depending on how many other people come in for the open mic. And after a while, I became such a regular. He just was like, "Hey, I'm working over here doing the coffee stuff. Do you want to MC? Just run this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not? No sweat off my back. I like being on stage, and yeah, that's kind of how that happened. That was mostly where I've been performing live. I did get the chance. Yeah, I have got the biggest crowd I ever did. I did get a chance to perform. Oh boy, where was it called? It was a place in Chilliwack, I believe. It was oh man, what was it called? It was a Tractor something. This is in the middle of summer, and there was a crowd of 200-ish people in this outdoor kind of stage area, and that was just really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I wanted to ask is, being a trans artist,
Mm-hmm.
how do you think that's affected your music and your basically little take on being an artist?
Well, I'd say it has affected it somewhat. Honestly, I came out in the midst of in the time that I've been performing, because it was I started performing in late high school, and then after I graduated is basically when I came out. I'm not sure how much it's affected the practicalities of it, because a lot of it has been done from inside my house and doing all that. But it certainly has affected my songwriting. I have a fair amount of songs kind of tied into and connected with that. A lot of my friends that that sometimes help me with music or whatever, or I talk to, are also trans, and it's just been, I guess it's kind of almost hard to say, because being trans, it changes so much of your everyday life, right? That it's kind of hard to say what it does and doesn't affect.
And that's and it's true, because you're living it, you're in it. It's hard to kind of take the step back and to really look at it. But it's nice to know that it's it's around you, it's involving, it's with you. But it doesn't necessarily need to define everything that you are to your core, which I think. Oh
yeah, absolutely. No, my gender is only a small amount of who I am, really. It means a lot to me, obviously, but it isn't all that I am.
And I really agree with that,
Yeah.
And I think, just like anything, it should be something that you can express and you can do with what you want. Mm-hmm. Now, with that, where can people find you? So you said everything's on Spotify and whatnot. Where's your social links at?
So I do. I am less active than I'd like to be, but you can if you want to follow anything that I do.
VR chat.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to find me on VR chat, absolutely. I'm Inkwell_music on VR chat. Basically, Inkwell_music practically everywhere, because Inkwell is almost always taken. So at Inkwell_music on Instagram, if you want to go there, I do update whenever I post new music. That is a thing. Is it possible for me to send you a Discord link for the description of the video, because I can share my Discord.
Yeah.
If someone wants to come to my Discord channel or server, I have that. I have my Discord server. You can absolutely come and hang out with my name. I'm Inkwell_music on Discord as well. I'm not as active on Twitter or anything like that.
You mean X nowadays?
Yeah. It's fine. It's Twitter, formerly X, or X, formerly Twitter, whatever. Mostly, if I have to choose a main social media platform, it's mostly... Oh, and TikTok, at Inkwell_music on TikTok. You can find me there too.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for joining us. Everyone, do you have a last words to say to our audience?
Merry future Christmas, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know.
Anywho, thanks everyone for joining. Be sure to check out all the links will be down below. hit that subscribe button. Go check out Inkwell and give it a listen, immerse yourself in it, and does it jump off the page for you? And please, hit that subscribe button, the like button, give it a share, and keep supporting the scene. I'll see you later. Thanks for joining me, and rock on.
Thanks for watching. This is Support the Scene. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, follow, and share.